Hi everybody, my name is Sheila and I am the nutritional therapist working with Hifas Terra as the practitioner account manager in Ireland. We really kind of wanted to look at detoxification from a different perspective, not one that we're used to listening to on a daily basis, especially in the new year, and especially with all the new information out there, fad diets, the increase of social media, with loads of information out there about nutrition, and detoxification is one of those words that gets thrown in there to maybe not to confuse, but maybe to attract people that, you know, detoxification is the way forward for better health or to lose weight or to look good or to have clearer skin. So it's a word that gets thrown around. We hear things like detoxification and cleansing. And so for all the practitioners on the webinar, we know that our bodies are well equipped to detoxify. So we have the skin, which is one of the largest organs, excretory organs. We've the kidneys, we've the liver, and we've the lymphatic system, and all of these wonderful things that help us detoxify in our everyday lives. But we also know that we are consistently bombarded with toxic exposure, and you know, we have these diseases now that require support in detoxification. So that's kind of what we're going to really focus on today, and how medicinal mushrooms can support the body through detoxification. So before I get into the presentation, I'm just going to quickly bring you through the history of Hifas Terra. So anybody who hasn't been on any of our webinars or are new to Hifas Terra and medicinal mushrooms, just to give you a little rundown on the company. So it was founded in 1999, and the lovely lady you see here is the founder of Hifas Terra, Catalina. And Catalina is a biologist and a mycologist, and her father is a mycologist, so he has been studying fungi for a very, very long time. And Catalina has taken and followed in his shoes, and has been researching the power of fungi for a long time now, and has founded Hifas Terra. So it's a biotechnology company based in Spain, and this in Galicia in Spain, and this is where we have the farms, and this is where we grow the mushrooms, cultivate the mushrooms, and do all the extraction processes in the lab. And so this is where the magic happens, I suppose, in these lovely farms in Galicia. And, you know, we will be speaking today about detoxification and toxic exposure. So, you know, one thing that is really, really important, whether it's, you know, our water supply, our food supply, and therefore also the supplements that we're taking, it's important to know that everything is where it comes from, and just the quality. So we have full control over the production process with our supplements. So all the mushrooms are 100% organic, and they are grown and cultivated in a controlled environment. So we have full control over that production. And then even down to the capsule is a vegetable capsule. So everything that you are consuming is 100% organic and clean, for want of a better word. So again, Hifas Terra has full control of the medicinal mushroom production. So traceability from growing their own strains to the extraction process. So from everything to the strain of mushroom, whether that's reishi, cordyceps, and then how we are extracting the bioactive compounds from those mushrooms. So the origin of the strains of the mushrooms, for many years we've been researching and selecting the best strains of the medicinal mushrooms. So those that provide the highest and best content of the active ingredients. So further in the presentation, there is a slide there of cordyceps. And what we have done, there's a table there that compares our strain of cordyceps with a strain of Tibetan mushroom. And you'll clearly see that the bioactive compounds that are contained in our strain has a lot higher amounts of the bioactive ingredients that we want, and also the amino acids. So we'll see that later on in the presentation, which is all really important when we're looking at, quality. So the research team, we have our research and development team is growing bigger and bigger in Galicia, and they have isolated many varieties of native and foreign fungi and collecting the best varieties of mushrooms on the planet to use in our supplements that that you're only getting the best. And one of the important things, a lot of questions that we do have about, what's contained in the mushroom, because, again, as I was saying earlier, when we look at supplements, when we look at food, when we, manufacturers just want to throw a word like clean, detoxifying, organic, whole foods. There's all these marketing things out there that really can confuse us, and we don't, but it's important to really know exactly what is in the supplement. And we have many supplements out there that might use mushroom, but in order to actually get the most from the mushroom and the bioactive ingredients, the extraction process is so important. And so how we do that is through the raw drying process. So to preserve the property of the fungi intact, we always do the process under 40 degrees Celsius, so that everything is kept there. All the important ingredients are still contained there, and that's what you're getting at the end of that process. So we also use 100% renewable energy in this process. Another thing that's really, really important to Hifas Terra is their impact on the planet as well. So it's all about, the process from beginning to end, and then, our customers are getting what they want and the best from the supplement, but also not having a massive impact on the planet in a negative way, of course. So again, just to, I was saying how important it is in terms of having the right amount in the supplement. So optimum doses is what is really important. Otherwise, there's absolutely no point in spending your money and putting that into your daily routine of taking a supplement. If it's not going to have any impact, there's absolutely no point. And what is really important there is having that optimum dose. So just to give you some idea of what you're getting in a supplement, and because our product ranges from our super concentrated extracts down to our superfoods. So for example, for somebody to consume 20 grams of fresh shiitake and get all of the lovely health benefits from that, you would need to be consuming that on a daily basis. So 20 grams of fresh organic shiitake mushroom. And but you can get that recommended therapeutic dose by having 4 capsules of our Bio-Ganoderma, which is our 100% whole food mushroom powder, or you could have our extracts, which only contains the bioactive ingredients, so the triterpenes, the polysaccharides, the beta-glucans, the amino acids. So the Bio-Ganoderma has all the superfood whole mushroom, and our myco range, so the myco she, myco shiitake, are the extracts. So just to give you an idea of the dosage of the product range that Hifas Terra have. So it goes from treating your clients who are in the acute stage of disease, you would give them a specific product. And then as they move through and improve on their health, they can move on to a different product, which is more ideal for daily maintenance. So if you're putting a protocol together for a client, they might start on our extract, so the myco she, and once their symptoms have subsided, you move on then to the Bio-Ganoderma as a follow-up and a maintenance for daily health. So I just wanted to give you that an idea of the products, of the optimum dose. To have that therapeutic effect, that's what you need in your capsules. So, and again, just coming back to control, quality, safety. So we have the seal, GMP, Good Manufacturing Practice, which certifies that the production is uniform and controlled, following the pharmaceutical safety standards. So again, coming back to once it's you have it's all done in a uniform and controlled environment, you know that you're getting the right dose. And we were very happy to receive the Best Organic Company of Spain Awards last October, and which was really, really wonderful, because a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of research goes into the supplements. So it was really, really lovely to receive this award last year. So now on to our webinar itself on detoxification. So as I was saying, we know that we have the ability, our body has the ability to detoxify. So whether that is, you know, byproducts of metabolism, so just our own toxic products that are produced at the end metabolically, and then through the food that we eat, through the pollution in the air, through the water that we drink, the medications we take, the alcohol we consume, caffeine, all of these things, we know that the body is well equipped to detoxify. Unfortunately, in our modern world, we're more and more consistently exposed to these harmful substances. So we can control this to the best of our ability. You know, I think a lot of us as practitioners, we're really, really aware of it, and so we are trying our best to make the right decisions in terms of food and all those things. But we can do our best, but there's many things out of our control. So, you know, whether that is, you know, pollution in the air, trying to always source the best products, organic, whether that's your food, your cosmetics, your water that's free of you know, fluoride and every other heavy metals that shouldn't be in there. So we can do this as much as possible. And on a daily basis, it may not seem like a lot, but what it can do over time is put a lot of stress on the body, and especially the excretory organs, and especially the lymphatic system. So this is where we look at maybe putting something in, like the medicinal mushrooms, to support the body. So again, the toxins that we see, pesticides on our foods, on our crops, food additives. So, you know, again, like, we can try our best to shop in the right places, shop at markets, you know, but you have to be super organized and plan everything, you know. So there are some things that are out of control when we're traveling, when we're on planes, when we're you know, eating at a friend's house. You know, these are things that we can't avoid. And then of course all of the plastics now that we have, whether that's from bottled water, our foods are packaged in plastics. So all of these things, we're just consistently bombarded. And sadly, we are seeing more illnesses that are as a result of our environment and our daily lives, our daily habits, our food, and our lifestyle habits. So overexposure to these toxins then can result, as we know, in many imbalances. For example, leaky gut, which in turn leads to allergies and food intolerances. So once we have, you know, once the body becomes imbalanced in that way, so whether that's just, you know, too much food, toxic, you know, containing all these toxins, medications, stress, and alcohol, caffeine, all of these things can make the gut leaky. And if the body is continuously overloaded and does not have the capacity to detoxify efficiently, this is where we're looking at the detrimental effects on the immune system. So again, if, you know, for everybody feeling that they're doing their best, I think practitioners are really, you know, exceptionally good at doing it. But, you know, for the clients that we see, they really think that they're doing quite well in terms of, you know, looking after their health, watching the types of food they eat. But unfortunately, there's just too much room to make bad decisions, and bad foods are eaten. And it's, we're seeing a lot of these problems then in clinic. So in modern society, we are seeing more and more cases of autoimmunity. And, I think we've all seen clients who we feel are coming into the clinic with these issues, but feeling that, they look after themselves, they try and do all the right things, but unfortunately are ending up with illnesses such as fibromyalgia, just that widespread pain, joint pain, arthritic pain, inflammatory disorders, all of these things, chronic fatigue. We're seeing them more and more on a daily basis in clinic. And it can all very well be related. We know when we look at all of these things from a functional medicine perspective, we're looking at, family history, the antecedents, what genetic predisposition. But then what about the diet and lifestyle? What are these people being exposed to on a daily basis in terms of food, exercise, or lack of sleep, or lack of overly medicated, and all of these things. So this is what we're seeing more and more on a daily basis. So what I want to really, really kind of get down to today is, when we are seeing these people in clinic, what can we do? And medicinal mushrooms, for any time you are dealing with anything in terms of the immune system, I don't think you can get anything better than medicinal mushrooms in terms of course, if you're choosing the right ones, but in terms of tackling immune issues, when we start looking at, the power, say, of beta-glucans and triterpenes and the bioactive content of these mushrooms and the impact that they have on the immune system, they're just so powerful and so clever in that they have ways to both stimulate the immune system, but also calm the immune system. So when we have cases of autoimmunity where the immune system is overreacting, we can put something in like medicinal mushrooms because they help modulate the immune system. And that's what's really, really important, I think, with what mushrooms can do. So today I'm going to bring you through 4 particular mushrooms that can help in terms of supporting the body through detoxification. So polypores for the lymphatic system. So when we look at, people, clients that we might have who have things like water retention, kidney, problems with the kidney, and then the lymphatic system. Polyporous is connected to all of those organs in the body, but mainly the lymphatic system. So we would use that a lot in terms of if clients have things like oedemas and lymphomas. That's where the polypores will really come in. And then people who would have things like allergies, have a lot of allergies and end up with, you can see that the lymphatic system, there's ways of knowing that the lymphatic system is under stress, and we'll see that in the next slide. So polypores is going to be really, really beneficial here. Cordyceps then, so, okay, so we're starting with the lymphatic system. We're supporting the toxins being removed and supporting the lymphatic system in that process. But then further down, we need to support the other organs that are going to assist the lymphatic system and assist the body excreting these toxins. So we look at cordyceps then for the kidneys and the respiratory system. We look at maitake and reishi then for the liver. So these are all the excretory organs that we're going to support through this process using medicinal mushrooms. So polypores is connected, as I said, mainly with the lymphatic system. And this helps rid the body of toxins, waste, other unwanted materials, and then eventually will be excreted by the liver and the kidneys. So the lymphatic system can be thought of as our drainage system that helps maintain fluid balance in the body. And, we look at the lymphatic system for, it runs alongside the circulatory system and picks up all of those unwanted wastes, through the bloodstream and then into the lymphatic system, and then we're going to excrete that. So just managing the lymph system, of course, we do that through loads of other ways, managing our diet, especially exercise, but putting something in like polypores can really help definitely for acute conditions like edemas. So polyporous has a diuretic effect. So it's going to promote urination in the body and therefore eliminate harmful toxins. What's really interesting about polyporous is that, okay, it has this diuretic effect, but it does it really effectively in that it still helps maintain the sodium-potassium balance in the body. So it can get rid of sodium and toxins and chloride, things like this out of the body without affecting the potassium balance, which is really, really important in terms of cardiovascular health. So it's really clever in that it has that diuretic effect without the horrible side effects of other diuretics. So signs and symptoms that the lymphatic system is under stress. So if you have somebody or you yourself are consistently getting recurrent infections, sore throats, swelling of the lymph nodes, and things like a lot of people might get almost lumps on the neck, maybe where toxins are building up. And, so it's just a bit of a sign that the fluid balance in the body and the lymphatic system trying to get rid of the toxins is backed up almost, and it's not doing it as effectively. So this is where polyporous is going to come in really, really well. So again, diseases that impact the lymphatic system are things like edemas, water retention, swelling. So what happens is fluid gets built up and gets trapped in tissue. So that might manifest as swelling in the legs or a lump on the neck or things like that, swelling of lymph nodes, tonsillitis. And then we have things like Hodgkin's disease and lymphomas. So polyporous is one of those medicinal mushrooms that we put into our protocols and into our oncocare range. So for those who are going through cancer, polyporous is one of those mushrooms that would be in our Mycomama, for example, which is our oncocare line. And the Mycomama is specifically for those who are going through, for women going through cancers of the breast and the reproductive systems. And of course, anyone, a lot of what happens, with breast cancer is if lymph nodes have to be removed, the lymphatic system is going to be under more strain again. So something like polyporous can really, really work there and support the body when this happens. So that's polyporous. So on to Mycotherapy. So again, Mycotherapy is going to support the liver. And, a lot of times when we talk about detoxification and cleansing, a lot of people do associate these things with weight loss. So it's the new year. We're all thinking about these things. We're all thinking we want to get fit and healthy, lose some weight. But, especially for people who might be suffering, say, with type 2 diabetes, just any disease that is affecting their metabolism, and especially, for those who want to lose weight and have a lot of weight to lose, they can be storing a lot of toxins in adipose tissue. And so as they are losing weight and trying to improve their health, a lot of toxins are being released into the bloodstream as they're breaking down these adipose fatty tissues and releasing those toxins into the bloodstream. So that can make somebody feel really rotten. I think if any of us tried any kind of detoxifying cleanse or, all of these things that are, and the fad diets that, are out there when people are trying these things, you can end up feeling pretty rotten. So, I've worked with a lot of clients over the years who have had to embark on food elimination diets, or they may be trying to, say, do things like reverse type 2 diabetes, and they are, say, on a ketogenic diet. And just those couple of days while trying to make that transition, you can feel really, really rotten because, there is the withdrawal symptoms, of course, but then just those toxins being released into the bloodstream. So again, putting something like this in, like medicinal mushrooms, like the Mycotherapy, can just really, really give somebody a better quality of life when they're going through these kind of elimination diets or when they're trying to, improve their health. So maitake is excellent for weight control because it reduces fatty acid absorption and inhibits cellular fat deposits. So when you think about glucose, consuming a lot of carbohydrates, the liver is under pressure, the pancreas is under pressure, it's trying to get this glucose into cells, and maitake is really, really good at improving this. So it can really help in improving the uptake of glucose in the cells and therefore avoiding its transformation into fat through the liver and then formation of adipocytes. So once we have too much carbohydrates, too much energy, too much sugar in the blood, the body needs to do something. The liver is going to use it, we're going to push it into body cells, use it as energy, then we're going to store some in muscles, then we're going to store some in the liver, but then after that, the liver has to convert it as fat and push it out then into body cells, and then we have the formation of adipocytes. And this extra tissue forms a life of its own. Then it becomes a whole new organ almost, and it starts excreting hormones and and can really store toxins in the body. So we're all the time just thinking about having less toxins in the body and assisting it safely and easily through that process. So again, as we said, our toxicological function of adipose tissue. So one of the functions of having fat cells is to modulate persistent organic pollutant toxicity through several mechanisms. So in this way, it can work well because we can store toxins and then have less of a burden on our other organs. However, in the long run, it's just not going to work. The accumulation of these pollutants in adipose tissue will eventually increase total body burden, and we've got a lot of toxins in the body, and this is where we see that manifest into chronic illness. So they can be slowly released into the bloodstream, especially during weight loss, but this is how on a daily basis people just are not feeling well, they're feeling tired. That's the biggest thing. There's always this tiredness, there's this widespread chronic pain, fogginess, can't think clearly, no energy, and then there's no motivation there also to help get to a better state in terms of our health. So that's maitake. So cordyceps then. So when actually we talk about like getting the motivation, getting the energy to improve our health, cordyceps is brilliant for this because a lot of you probably know cordyceps being that mushroom that a lot of athletes will go for because it does help increase energy in the body and increase ATP. In Chinese traditional medicine, cordyceps protects the kidney, and the kidney and the lung in Chinese traditional medicine are closely related. And then the kidney and the ear are closely related. So the lung then is seen as the mother of the kidney, and for this reason, cordyceps is also used for respiratory problems. So, we put cordyceps in here to help support the kidney through detoxification, but it's also going to support the respiratory system, which is another excretory organ, and also, the kidneys are the natural filters of the body, so we want to really support the kidney then. So it can really enhance the kidney's potential. And we've seen that in various studies, cordyceps has been shown to reduce kidney damage. So whether that's brought on by medications, and for a lot of reasons, people might just, consistently have problems with the kidney. So this can really help enhance the kidney's potential. So cordyceps also protects the liver. So, again, cordyceps is doing so many lovely things all around. It has antioxidant properties, which helps stimulate glutathione peroxidase. So it's going to help all of these, again, through detoxification, supporting excretion safely and effectively of toxins in the body. So this is the table that I spoke about, and this is something you can, apologies, I'll go back to that. It's just something you can, again, what we really want to, make sure that that what is contained in these supplements, we know exactly how much of what is in our supplements. There was an interesting study there just before Christmas that was released. In the States, they had completed a study. They had tested numerous products on the market that contained reishi, or said that there was this certain amount of reishi in their products. And in fact, when they actually studied and extracted and looked exactly what was in these supplements, so it was a wide range of supplements across the market, that only 75% of those supplements actually contained genuine reishi. And, you know, again, as I said, you can consume reishi, but then you also have to break it down. You also have to absorb it. So we make sure that in our process, that's all done. So at the final end, the end product, you are getting nothing but this amount of, so whether it's the polysaccharides, the beta-glucans, the adenosine, cordyceps, and all these things that make a difference and have that therapeutic dose, so you're seeing that effect. We know exactly what's there. So it's interesting just to see that, you know, this is our strain of the cordyceps, and this is a wild strain of Tibetan mushroom. So, you know, it's really good to see that our strains are performing very well. And then finally, we're going to speak about reishi. So reishi is one of those mushrooms that have so many wonderful therapeutic actions in the body. It does everything. It's anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antiviral, anti-tumoral, anti-cancer, anti-allergy. It's really, it's actually one of the well-researched mushrooms. So I think we don't know the half of what mushrooms will and will do for us in the future. But we know reishi is one of the well-researched mushrooms, so we know all of these therapeutic actions that and all the potential that it has. But in terms of detoxification, we're putting in this here for the protective effect on the liver. It has powerful antioxidant properties, and it's adaptogenic. So when I talk about, you know, the immune system, so it helps modulate the immune response, because that's what we're seeing in chronic illness more and more every day, is the immune system not reacting appropriately. It's not responding appropriately. So then we end up with diseases like autoimmune, when the immune system is not doing what it should and acting like it should. So something like reishi and many other medicinal mushrooms can help modulate that function. So yeah, I mean, a lot of people would definitely affiliate or associate mushrooms and, you know, with Asian cultures. They have been using it for a long time. They know exactly, you know, for years and years, they know what mushrooms can do. But science is only catching up with that now. And I think, you know, especially in the last 10 years, we're seeing more and more really, really good studies on the power of medicinal mushrooms. So the reishi mushroom is well known as in Asia as the immortality mushroom. And we actually have our founder, Catalina. So for all of you guys in London, Catalina is going to be in London next Wednesday, and she will be speaking about the power of reishi. So you'll find the exact details on our website. So if you want to know more and meet Catalina, the founder of Hifas Terra, she'll be in London next Tuesday. Apologies, next Tuesday. So for anyone who's in London, do come along and say hello, and, you know, find out more about reishi. It's just amazing. As I said, it's adaptogenic, so it has the power to modulate the immune system. And as I said, the more and more chronic illnesses we're seeing now are autoimmune diseases. So this is something that's really, really powerful. I myself take reishi every day, and that's for its anti-aging anti-aging properties. So anything that's going to help me stay young and happy and healthy, you know, I'm all for it. So, but yes, it has such powerful antioxidant properties. So, the reishi is definitely something I will take every day. So just to finish off the presentation, I'm just going to quickly bring you through how you might actually use the extracts in clinic if you were working with clients with any of the conditions that I've mentioned or, you know, touched on. So again, in cases needing drainage or water elimination, such as edemas, the polyporous mushroom is really, really effective. So the way to think of it, if you think of anything in the body that requires fluid balance, or anything that works with fluids in the body. So when you think of the kidney, the lymph system, they all manage fluid balance in the body. Think of the respiratory system, you know, so just kind of think of how we do that in the body. Anything that's going to affect those processes, think polyporous. So this is our extract. So you would take 1 to 2 of these capsules in the morning on an empty stomach. So you could also take that, we recommend taking it with the ascorbado, which is our own antioxidant blend to help optimize the bioavailability of the mushroom. So you would take the ascorbado first and then take the 2 capsules, and this will increase the bioavailability. So, you know, as we always kind of have our black pepper with our turmeric, these kind of things help the absorption and the bioavailability. So this is exactly, you know, we've put together this antioxidant formula in the ascorbado, which is going to increase that. So that's the polyporous. Mycotherapy then, for, you know, if you're dealing with clients who are struggling in terms of metabolic syndrome, or if they need to reduce cholesterol levels, looking to lose weight and do it safely and not feel so bad if they're going through any kind of elimination diets. We've had to do elimination diets with clients who might have to rule out caffeine for a while, or if they have to take away you know, any, you know, substances that are going to make them feel bad initially, but eventually good. So something like, you know, the Mycotherapy can really help when we're getting rid of toxins out of the body for whatever reason, you know, and just to support the liver. So, but it can be used for anything like that. If you have clients who are struggling with metabolic syndrome, so whether that's cholesterol levels, blood pressure, things like that, the Mycotherapy is great there. So again, we would say with the extract, take 1 to 2 capsules. And then our cordyceps, or mycocord. So this you would put in to support the kidneys and the lungs. I think I've told this story a lot over the last, you know, couple of weeks. Before Christmas, I had a terrible cold, like I think the whole planet did. I think everybody has been suffering with this flu and cold that's been going around. And I decided to take another one of our products that contains cordyceps, and it contains Coriolis, which you would take for a virus. So I had taken this product, our BioViral, just to help me through that, and it contains cordyceps. So I took it knowing it was going to help with the virus and kill the virus and shorten the length of my cold. But what I was really happy with the side effects of my breathing. So as I was saying, cordyceps can support the lungs. It can relax the bronchial walls in the lungs and allow for increased airflow. And so I just found my breathing had really, really improved. I was able to take really lovely deep breaths, and it was making me sleep a lot better. I found I woke up in the morning feeling like I had really good restorative sleep, because I was able to breathe really easily through my nose. And so that was a lovely, lovely side effect that I got from taking the cordyceps, which is contained in the BioViral. So, and again, like as I said, a lot of the athletes are taking things like cordyceps because it's really increasing oxygenation in the body and therefore allowing for quicker recovery for athletes. So cordyceps, again, great for supporting the kidney and the lungs. So, and great for energy, you know, and creating energy in the body. So for any of those things that you're dealing with clients, any kidney problems, any lung problems, just increasing energy, you would look at putting cordyceps in there. So again, 1 to 2 capsules preceded by the ascorbado. And of course, the microarray is constantly on my daily list. I take at least, I'll take 1 of these capsules in the morning and the evening, because it has, like, again, mushrooms are just so fascinating. The reishi is adaptogenic. It has the power to stimulate, but also relax. So it can stimulate, the immune system, and it can stimulate, energy, and just, but it can also really help relax. So it's amazing, I think, how one mushroom has all of these properties, and they are so complex and interesting. And but in this case, detoxification, we're supporting the liver, and the reishi mushroom is fantastic for that. And that's pretty much the end of the presentation. I probably went on a little bit longer because I'm re-recording today. We did have the presentation on Wednesday, and we did have some question and answers, but what we will do is send you those as well. So even though I'm not going through question and answers now, you will get them along with the live recording next week. So just to finish off in terms of why Hifas to Terra, a couple of things that I've touched on. What's important is, if you're going to spend money, if you're going to take the time to put this into your daily routine, if you want to see results, if you want to see your clients see results, it has to be at the optimal dose. Otherwise, it's not going to have any effect. So you want to take something that is going to work. We discussed the raw drying method, which keeps all the lovely properties in there. It's vegan. We've gone through all the clinical trials. We're developing clinical trials at the moment with cancer patients, because we're seeing wonderful things, with what mushrooms can do in this case. We've also had the drug interaction test done, so you can use mushrooms very, very safely in practice. We are seeing clients who are on a lot of medication, and so you can use these mushrooms without worrying. Now, obviously, you're always being cautious and practicing cautiously. And you can always contact us if you're ever in doubt. If you have a client who's on a lot of medications, do contact us and we will help you there, and we'll be able to consult the medical team. But overall, you can use these very safely. They are food at the end of the day. That is all that's contained in there, but they're in that high therapeutic dose. So as we've said before, we are using the properties of medicinal mushrooms in medications anyway. 40% of Western medications uses and utilizes the power of mushrooms, but you're getting these lovely mushrooms at that dose without the nasty side effects of medications. So they are just whole foods. It's just food. That's all it is. So no fears. You can actually use these safely. And as I said, the carbon footprint, Hifas to Terra are always really mindful of the effect the company and their practices have over the environment. So we plant over 80,000 disease-resistant and mycorrhizal chestnut trees every year. So I got to go to the farms last year. I got to see all these fabulous nurseries and got to see all the labs, and it's just amazing things that Galicia, or that Hifas to Terra are doing in Galicia at the moment. It's really fantastic. And then of course it's organic, suitable for celiacs and lactose intolerance. And again, the capsules are vegetable capsules. So just clean products all around at the right dose that's needed to have an effect. And there ends our webinar. So I hope you go away this evening feeling a little bit more knowledgeable about these mushrooms, about polyporus, about cordyceps, maitake and reishi. I hope I've kind of helped you see how you could use those in practice, to support detoxification, or at least the chronic illness that we are seeing and seeing on a daily basis in clinics. So I hope that I have been able to pass some of my knowledge on. Mycotherapy and the world of medicinal mushrooms is so large. There's so much to know, and we're going to be doing some webinars over the year. So do keep an eye on the website and on our Facebook page and on Instagram. We are going to be consistently doing webinars throughout the year. And what we want to do is just do short half hour, 45-minute webinars, and just really kind of stick to topics that you can really, really learn from and then use in practice. So I hope you've enjoyed the presentation and I hope you've learned loads. So you can sign up as a practitioner with us. So do get in touch. You've all the details there. If you ever have any questions, do contact us at health@hifasterra.com and we can put any protocols together for you and answer any questions that you have. So do sign up as a practitioner because you will get 30% discount, which is really helpful. So do get in touch and we look forward to having you on board with us in the future for any of the webinars, and perhaps for all you guys in London, we might see you next week with Catalina next Tuesday. So have a lovely weekend and I'll speak to you all soon. Take care.